Welcome to Waterloo, Iowa, and the final week of the Class 1A regular season. Hard to believe we're already in Week 8, but here we are tonight. I'm Marcus Chelson, alongside the legendary Jeff Bradley. Tonight we have a huge district matchup between the 4-3 Columbus Catholic Sailors and the 3-4 visitors, the Aplington-Parkersburg Falcons. We're going to start tonight's coverage with a pregame interview. Our own Jeff Bradley spoke with Columbus head coach Brad Schmidt down on the sideline before warm-ups. And here's what Coach Schmidt had to say.
Jeff Bradley down here on the field with Coach Schmidt minutes before game time. Hey, I want to go back to last week. Didn't have you on. Seniors, it was senior night last week, and highlight a few of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's 5 or 6 of them. About 5 or 6 of them. You got Amani Robinson, you got Kemonte Humphrey, Drew Schultz, Nick Sarda, Caden Clark, and
I'm missing one more.
I think that's all of them.
I think so.
I think that's all of them. Just a solid group that has kind of set the tone for us this year. Amani, had his best game of the year, I think. Did a good job carrying the ball, throwing the ball. Drew, most volume he's had all year. I think he had 20-plus carries, over 100 yards. We ran the ball successfully. Defense has been playing extremely well. I think we're giving up about 12.6 points per game since after the last 2. So, playing good complementary football. Got to clean up special teams a little bit, but other than that, it was a solid performance across the board.
So you've been here a long time now, and every season, the evolution of the seasons, it's different for every year. So, hey, 0-2 start, a lot of guys injured, start getting injured guys back, got in districts, get on a little bit of a run, get a setback, a little bit of a run again now.
Yep.
Just talk about the ups and downs of the season, and I think you're finished on the high note.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the big thing about, high school football is you want to be playing your best ball in October. Okay, we're in October right now, and we always want to strive to be playing in November. I'm not always the most concerned about how we're playing early September. Credit to the kids, credit to the staff for, I'll say we righted the ship, but, those were some tumultuous weeks early on, and you wonder what this team has, how they're going to respond to adversity. And I'm extremely proud to of all of them for, kind of digging their heels in and, swinging back and continuing to push forward, getting a little bit better each week. And I do think we are playing the best ball we've played all year right now as we're on October 17th.
So final game of the regular season, pretty much assured we're going to be in the playoffs. AP, good solid team. They're going to run the ball. How you game planning those guys? What's the keys to victory tonight?
Yeah, you gotta wrap up. You gotta get 11 hats to the football. We got to know our alignment, our assignment, and then go execute defensively. Like I said, we need 11 hats to the ball. We need 11 hats to the ball. They're going to run the football. I think they've thrown it 40 times this year, so that's what they want to do. They want to extend or shorten the game and keep your offense off the field. So we got to do a great job of that. We got to dominate the line of scrimmage, both offensively and defensively. Take care of the football in each possession in a kick. Whether that be a PAT or a punt, not give them give them turnovers, whether that be a fumble or an INT. So if we do those two things, if we tackle and we take care of the football, I think those are going to be the keys to victory tonight.
All right, let's get back to the team. Good luck, my friend.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Tonight's discussion with a few of the playoff implications of the 1A District 4 matchups tonight. Our wonderful graphic designer, Brandon, here is going to pull up a graphic on the screen that talks a little bit about the scenarios that could play out tonight. So a very tight district in District 4, and to keep it simple for those of you watching at home, the first scenario there on the left of your screen is if Columbus wins tonight and Hudson loses to Jessup, then Columbus would be crowned, Jeff, the district champion this year.
Yeah, that is correct. So you don't control 100% of your destiny, but, you take care of business tonight. You never know. This district's so tight anyway that nothing's going to surprise me.
Second scenario is if Columbus wins and Hudson wins, then Hudson would be the district champion based on the head-to-head tiebreaker, as Hudson did nip Columbus earlier this year at TJ McLaughlin Field. The last one here is a crazy scenario in such a tight district, as you said. If these three things happen, if Columbus loses, Hudson loses, and Sumner Fred all loses, which would be wins by AP, Jessup, and Union, we would have 5 teams in District 4 all at 3-2.
Yeah, so I don't think that's going to happen, but it is a possibility. So at that point, it would come down to a point spread.
We are going to take a quick break here for prayer and national anthem, and we'll be right back.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. God, our loving Father, we thank you for this opportunity of athletic competition. Bless everyone here with a sincere desire to observe the tradition of good sportsmanship, and to respect our opponents, their fans, the officials, and friends of Columbus Catholic High School. Regardless of the final score, help us to appreciate the effort put forth by the players from both teams. Lead us all to you and grant us a place in your eternal kingdom. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Please join us in the singing of the national anthem by Columbus senior Carly Morgan.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rattling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Great job there by Miss Morgan on our national anthem. And back to those the wacky playoff scenario there of 5-3-2 teams. Certainly not a likely outcome this evening. And really, you hope that that doesn't happen. For one reason, is you want the playoff seedings decided on the field and not by tiebreaker.
Point differential. And to be honest with you, I don't even know what it would be. You wouldn't even know until after all the games are in tonight. So,
Yeah, right.
You could go anywhere from 1 to 3.
Sailor football over the years. We've seen a lot of AP football in this area over the years. What do the Sailors need to do tonight to stop this AP running attack and then get some points of their own on the board?
Yeah, I think the first thing is what Coach Smith said. I'll kind of reiterate what he said. 12.7 points a game last 3 games that they've given up. So if they do that tonight, 12.7, hard to do a 0.7, I understand that, but if you give up 12 or 13 points, you're in pretty good darn shape to win this ball game.
And really you're going to see from the AP side a very, very run-heavy offense. They've only thrown the ball about 40 times all season long. I think we were talking in the booth here about the over-under passes for them is probably 6.5 or 7 throws tonight. So really going to come down to that Sailor defense on the run stop.
I mean, AP, they are what they are, and they've been that way for years, and they've put numerous guys in the pros, and we'll talk about that later in the broadcast. But They are what they are, and they do a really good job at it. They come at you hard. They've got good blocking schemes and hard runners. So I think that's a huge key to the game if you can shut down their run game or at least slow it down a little bit.
On the flip side of the ball, on the opposite side, what do the Sailors need to do on offense? It's a little slippery down there. Yeah. The rain's holding off for the time being, but it did rain earlier. It's going to be a very slick field and wet field. Are the Sailors going to come out in their aerial attack like normal, or is it going to be a little bit more ball control tonight?
Yeah, I don't see Coach Schmidt pumping the brakes at all. You know, we had a conversation Wednesday night last week, maybe a couple weeks ago, and he goes, give me your true assessment on what you've seen with the Sailors this year. And I go, I don't know how good you guys are, because every time, you know, I think you have a really good team, but every time you get close to being really good, there's a penalty or there's an interception or a fumble. So I go, if you guys can play a complete game, you might have a pretty darn good football team there, Coach.
I could not agree with that more, and evidence of that statement was last week against Union. Union, a very good football team. They came into T.J. McLaughlin Field last week, 5-1 on the season, and that game was a battle. Both teams sold out on both sides of the ball. The Sailors put some good grit out there and came away with the victory. Probably some of the best football they've played this season, and a lot of that because, you know, these guys are finally healthy the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I think that's some of it. And I think the other part of, you know, getting healthy is now you're getting reps next to the guy that's actually going to play in the game instead of maybe you're subbing a couple guys out. Timing's a lot of things. Meshing as a unit's a lot of things. As I say that, I see Channel 7's in the house also right now.
KWWL in the house in Waterloo. We love to see it. The Sailors were about 30 seconds from kickoff here. AP actually won the toss, Jeff, and they elected to receive, which is a little abnormal. Usually you defer to the second half. A little strategy there. I think they're going to try to control the ball and get that run start dominating early tonight.
Yeah, I don't. That doesn't shock me a bit. And I don't know. I know everybody's doing that. That's the trendy thing to do is you want to come out of the second half and maybe score in the first half and get it. I think if you think you can control the clock and the game, get the ball and set the tone right away.
Nolan set to kick off for the Sailors. AP back to receive. And we are underway here in Week 8. A little pooch kick towards the sideline. Squeaks out of bounds. That's going to be an illegal procedure penalty for the kick out of bounds, and I believe they'll mark that either at the spot of the out of bounds or at the 35, which is ever most beneficial to the visiting Falcons.
Yeah, I've seen that a few times this year, and even in years past, hold it off and actually got the ball back a few times. That one, but you got to keep it in bounds. You got to keep that kick in bounds, give yourself a chance.
It'll be interesting to watch the special teams tonight. Kickoff coverage has been a little bit of a concern for the Sailors tonight. Maybe one of the reasons that Coach Schmidt elected to kick to the side there. AP comes out under center. Waller at quarterback. Snap. Handoff of no, he kept it. He's on the rollout, being chased by a couple of Sailors. He's got to the outside. He's got the edge, and about a 4-yard gain as he's forced out of bounds on the fake and the rollout keeper.
Pretty good run by AP there. He eluded one tackler and then outran the other guy coming up from the corner to get it'll look like about a 3-yard gain, but that's not going to kill you, man, if you can keep it 3-yard gains.
2nd and 7. AP breaks the huddle. Waller now in the shotgun. Trips left, single receiver to the right. Snap, he's going to keep it on a design drop the middle, and that is stuffed by the Sailor D-line and linebacking crew.
Yeah, you know, earlier in the year we saw a good sophomore quarterback from Hudson. This Waller, I believe he's just a sophomore also from AP, if I've got my information correct. And I do not.
I think he's a senior, but that's okay. Well, I would say this to the folks at home. We get all of our information off of Varsity Bound. So sometimes there's accurate information there, sometimes not so much.
Let's not even split the difference. Let's call him a senior. I was going to say junior, but now we'll call him a senior.
Waller in the shotgun. Prusner in the backfield at the tailback position. 3rd and 6. Handoff up the middle of the fullback. He's got a little bit of room to the outside, but the Sailors cut it down. That's going to be Augie Trinan on the tackle for no gain. Beautiful stop by the Sailors, and it looks like AP's going to punt.
Outstanding angle by Trinan there. And then when he got his arms on I believe that was Prusner, it was a done deal. So that's 4th and 7. You're on your end. You got to punt this thing. Have to punt this.
And this is where that strategy where you want the ball right away comes back to bite you a little bit. You go 3 and out, and now all of a sudden the Sailors get their first possession and get to start the ball.
Oh, it's over his head.
The Sailors are in pursuit. The snap's over his head. He picks it up. He's scrambling, wisely throws the ball, completes it, but that's actually that is a mental mistake. The receiver should have just knocked it to the ground because they lost about 15 yards on that play, and they could have gotten away with just an incomplete pass.
Yeah, I think he's trying to make a play. The punter is, and that guy, and you never know if he slips a tackle or two. That's total nightmare for Columbus, but he did not. And first hiccup of the game comes for Aplington-Parkersburg, and that was well over the punter's head.
A huge break for the Sailors early. They're going to take over 1st and 10 on the Falcon 27-yard line. Robinson, the senior quarterback, in the shotgun. Drew Schultz, the senior running back, gets the handoff up the middle, met immediately on the D-line there. And he is tackled for a yard loss, maybe 2-yard loss on first down. It'll be 2nd and 12.
Yeah, that sure looked like Mason Kopp that got through and looked like he was unblocked and just tracked down Schultz and dropped him.
Yeah, definitely a missed assignment there on the offensive line, which has been a huge bright spot for the Sailors the last 3 weeks. They've played extremely well. A lot of beefy boys up front there plowing the road for the Sailor running attack. Robinson hands off to Schultz again, trying to bounce outside, makes one man miss. Got 2 yards back to the original line of scrimmage, and we are going to have a 3rd and 10, and maybe a preview of what we're going to see a lot of tonight is a tough-fought battle in the trenches.
Yeah, and usually these high school games, college games, and pro games, you're going to win them on those defensive and offensive lines. My guess is you're in 4-down territory. It's too far to kick that field goal, but and too close to punt. So try to get 5 or 6 here and give yourself a chance on 4th if you have to.
3rd and 10 from the Falcon 27. Robinson in shotgun. Schultz at the tailback. 3 receivers right. Robinson rolling to his right, looking, got time, throws it wisely, throws it away. Looking downfield, the Falcons had tremendous coverage in the secondary, and Robinson wisely throws that away to live and fight for 4th down here.
Yeah, it sure looked like Amani had a guy open right. 2 steps into his fade there, but it closed up. As soon as you start going right, all the defense is going with you, and everything just collapsed. So smart move, throw that one away, and live to fight another day here.
Like that he didn't try to force anything there along the sideline. 4th and 10 here on the Sailors' first possession of the ball game. Robinson in the shotgun, twins right. Robinson looking, he wants it, he goes to the outside. It looked like the ball completely slipped out of his hand, and a little bit of the wet field conditions there. That ball was nowhere near the receiver. It just came off his fingertips real awkwardly there.
It was either that or it might have been a little fingernail on it. Somebody might have got a tip on that because it changed trajectory right when it came out of his hand.
So incomplete on 4th and 10. That's going to turn the ball over on downs to the Falcons, who take over on the 27-yard line. And first couple of possessions here is a couple heavyweights just testing each other out and trading blows.
Yeah, so you can either chalk it up to lackluster offense or real good defense or a combination thereof.
Waller in the backfield, shotgun, takes a handoff. He's keeping it on the quarterback draw. And Humphrey wraps him up along with Owen Hosh on the tackle. And boy, that Camonte Humphrey has had a phenomenal season as the senior D lineman.
Just a little tip I'd give that quarterback, run around Camonte. Don't try to run through him because you are going to lose that battle.
Every time. Like many of the boys on the Sailor football team, Camonte playing both ways, the little Iron Man football. He is also an anchor on the offensive line and be fun to watch tonight and has been all season. AP breaks the huddle. Waller in the backfield. and shotgun. Empty backfield, 5 wide. Prusner in motion. Sling pass out. That might be a backwards pass. It was. The line judge signaling backwards pass there, and so that is actually going to lose yardage as it's a live ball. So that's going to be, looks like a 5-yard loss on that miscue.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that far back. Oh, he keeps going back. That's about 7 yards.
So Sailors catch another break on a miscue from AP, just a sloppy throw backwards that was not completed, live ball. And so we got 3rd and 16 here from the Falcon 21 in a dangerous situation. We'll see if the Sailor defense can capitalize.
You know, after seeing those first 2 passes from each quarterback, that ball might be a little bit wet.
Waller in the backfield, takes the shotgun. They're just going to choose to keep it on the ground and the quarterback draw. Very conservative play call. As we said, they don't throw the ball a whole lot, and that sets up a 4th and 12. And it looks like these Sailors are going to get the ball back again.
Drew Schultz on the tackle for the Sailors.
Monahan deep for the Sailors on the punt return. The Falcons had a miscue on the punt snap in the first drive. This time a good snap. Hold it, it's blocked! It's blocked! Sailors recover! That's a big man tutty! That's a big man tutty! Kamarte Humphrey blocks the punt, recovers his own block, and takes it in for the Sailor touchdown!
That is unbelievable. Kimante, along with 2 other guys, could have had their hands on it, but Kimante, and what a great bounce right back up into his hands. And he rumbled in, man. You were not going to catch him when he got that weight going towards the end zone.
I mean, is there anything better than a big man touchdown?
That is awesome.
At any level of football, let alone high school football. Nolan to attempt the extra point. Snap, hold, kick, and that is good to put the Sailors on top. 7-0 with 7:15 left in the first quarter.
Sailors 7, Falcons 0.
So just like that, Jeff, Sailors play some excellent defense, some excellent special teams, and they jump out front here early in the football game, 7-0.
Yeah, a lot of times football is a game of who makes less mistakes. Well, the punt game, AP's made 2 back-to-back. 1 over the head, 1 a block for a touchdown. So that does not bode well. Now, the other thing I wanted to say on that extra point, that was not a very good snap of our own. Great job by the holder to get it. Was way back by his ankle, pulled it around, and the kicker put it through.
And I really do like it when you have your quarterback as your field goal holder a lot of times. And Robinson's also our punter, so very accustomed to handling the snap on in shotgun, on punts, and on all PAT and field goal attempts. He did do a great job of fielding that off the ground and off to the side and getting it down for Nolan to put it through.
You know, and even worst case than that, then you just pick it up and run it, or you know.
Yep. Nolan to kick off. Another pooch kick towards the sideline, taken by the up back. He's met immediately by Owen Hosh, and the Falcons will take over at the 36-yard line, 1st and 10, with 7:13 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, I don't mind that kick. I wish you could get it 10 yards deeper, and then it's in no man's land, so you need one of those guys to catch it over his shoulder, or these guys to run up. And I almost want him to try the far side of the field now.
Yeah, I agree with that, and nice to see. I mean, you can tell that Coach Schmidt has a tremendous amount of faith in his defense. If you're going to put them on the 35-yard line a couple times in a row, you know he's got faith in that D defense to hold them. Waller in the shotgun. That is going to be a false start by the tackle, or maybe the tight end, maybe on the Falcons. That's going to back them up 5. And AP not looking real sharp to start this ball game.
Oh, and it looked like they came out in a little modified wishbone there, didn't they?
It was. That's like the old Ricky Foggy days from the Minnesota Golden Gophers in the 80s.
Let's see what they do here. Yeah.
Handoff up the middle. Gets a few yards. I believe that's Prusner. Yep, number 0, Prusner.
Good hard run by Prusner there.
The sophomore running back does the bulk of the running back duties for AP.
Well, he gets 6 of those yards back, you know, or 5 of the the penalty yards and an additional yard. So, but you're still in a run mode team. If you're behind the sticks, it makes it awful tough.
2nd and 9. Again, the 3 running back formation and shotgun on the quarterback. Spins and hands off up the middle, and that is just absolutely smothered by the Sailor defense. That's going to be a loss of a yard, and back to the original line of scrimmage. This will be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, that was some great gang tackling there. The other thing, when you know your primary thing, 80, 90% of the plays are going to be run, these guys can kind of pin their ears back a little bit and go right to that ball.
I'm a little surprised we're in the 3-4 with 3 down linemen with the run-heavy offense, but boy, Thomas Faraday, Kamante Humphrey, and Rudy Lynn just absolutely swallowing guys right now.
You know, they're probably double teaming one of those guys, and now those linebackers are going to have free reign here.
Trips left. Oh, and he hikes it before he was ready. Ball's on the ground. Prusner picks it up, and he's immediately met by 3 or 4 Sailors. Another miscue. The quarterback wasn't even looking for the ball, and the snap came back and hit him in the chest, and Prusner luckily picks it up, and AP just looks in complete disarray.
They are out of sorts. It shocks me it's an AP team that looks like this, but really any team, they just look out of sorts right now, and at least not to this point ready to play football.
Well, and maybe you see that in week 1, 2, or even 3, but week 8, very uncharacteristic. 4th and 15, AP back to punt. Prusner, the punting duties here. No, I'm sorry. I'll get a number on that. Punt away. Monahan tries to field it, but wisely backs off. Takes a little bit of an AP bounce. Didn't look like he had a good angle on that one. It was a little bit of a short punt. And so wisely doesn't make contact with it and just lets the AP team down it at the 24-yard line.
And if you saw Columbus defense on that, they were about another step away from blocking that one. So it's not going to shock me if Columbus defense gets one more block punt tonight.
And a little clarification, Wayne on the punt there for AP. According to the stat sheet, Wayne and Prusner trade off punting duties for AP, but Wayne getting the duties tonight early.
And that was a good punt by Wayne right there also.
1st and 10, Robinson in the shotgun, Drew Schultz in the backfield. 4 wide for the Sailors. Handoff up the middle to Schultz. Has a little bit of room there. Nice push by the line. Found a nice seam for a 5-yard gain on 1st down to set up 2nd and 5. 4:48 left in the first quarter. Sailors up 7-0.
Coach Schmidt will do that all day long as those linemen are dominating that line. He'll take 6 yards every time and just keep moving those chains.
And last week against Union was a very impressive job by the Sailor offensive line. They really at times took over the game. 2nd and 4. We have trips to the right. Schultz in the backfield. Robinson takes the ball, handoff to Schultz, looking for room. He's got the 1st down, fighting, and he has it out to the 35-yard line. That'll reset the chains on a fresh set of downs for the Sailors.
Yeah, I think you keep feeding Schultz until maybe they bottle him up one time, and then you might be able to pop a long one or at least a mid-range one. Loosen that defense up a little bit more.
Sailors got a little bit cooking here on their 2nd drive of the evening after the defense has forced 3 punts. 4 wide, Robinson in the shotgun, empty backfield. 1st and 10 at their own 35. Robinson on the design quarterback draw, wanted to test up the middle, ends up bouncing it outside where there's good pursuit by AP, and he's brought down for no gain. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, didn't fool anybody on that one. I kind of liked that play, but boy, we didn't have any blockers out there, and then AP got right to the ball.
Yeah, they've had good success running Amani Robinson. He's very much a dual threat quarterback, and had a very good success on a lot of the ground game and in the air. 4 receivers set. Schultz in the backfield. Robinson in the shotgun. Hands it off. Good blocking. He's got a little bit of room. Breaks 1 tackle, and then he's slipped up on the slick turf. AP got just enough of an ankle there and brings it down for 3-yard gain. It'll set up 3rd and 7.
Yeah, Turf got him there. I mean, he slipped on that wet turf. Otherwise, I think he rambles for at least 2 or 3 more.
He had a little bit of an escort down the sideline there. He had a couple of big boys pulling. I think it was Thomas Faraday pulling on there to the outside, and he was ready to clear the way for Schultz, who gets tripped up. 3rd and 7, 2:32 left in the first quarter. Sailors lead 7-0. Robinson in the shotgun, drops back, looking. Oh, that is a dangerous pass. Robinson was looking for Owen Hosh on the curl route, but the outside linebacker that Robinson never saw kind of sat in that curl zone and just popped up right under the football, and it went right off his chest and drops harmlessly to the turf, luckily for the Sailors.
You will never have an easier interception than that, but it was so surprising that it was even at him. You're right, Amani did not see that guy, and it hit him right in the chest and dropped to the ground.
Robinson back to punt. Gets the kick away, end-over-end kick. Shirk back to receive, doesn't really have a chance at it. He was on the near hash, and the kick went all the way to the far hash. So that falls to the ground at the AP 32-yard line. And the Sailors will defend the 7-0 lead as AP takes over 1st and 10.
Yeah, appears to be a defensive struggle, at least to this point. And Columbus has won that struggle so far with that blocked punt. But, yeah, these offenses are not getting on track at all.
No, not much doing at all. Sailors got, I think, 1 first down on that drive. On the ground was Schultz. So Waller in the shotgun for AP. AP in all white in the red helmets, moving right to left on your screen. He's got a wheel route down there towards the sideline. The referee is right there to make the call. The receiver, Callworth, caught the ball, but he landed out of bounds. So 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that'd be a cautionary thing for Columbus there. Don't fall asleep. Those cornerbacks, you still got to play those wide receivers honest.
Well, and they flooded the zone there. They had a guy, Hogendorn came up to guard the guy in the flat, and they slipped a kid past him on the wheel route right down the sideline. It was a well-designed play, just couldn't make the connection. AP under center. Handoff up the middle. Little bit of room there, not much. Looks like a 2 or 3 yard gain. It's going to bring up another 3rd and long situation for the Falcons.
But you can even see where Columbus safety's playing, only about 7, 8, 10 yards off the ball. And then obviously, shading that way to help out in the run if it is a run.
Yeah, definitely bringing a team. You're going to bring 7 and 8 guys in the box here with the heavy run attack. 3rd and 7 for the Falcons. Sailors playing very good defense. 3 running backs plus Waller, the quarterback, in the backfield. Fake handoff and a pitch to the outside to Prusner. He's got a little room still going. He's got enough for the first down, and he's brought down at midfield. By far the Falcons' biggest play of the evening, and that's good enough for a first down at the 50-yard line.
Robinson had a chance to get him before the first down, and it looked like he may have slipped a little bit too and didn't get a clean hack at him, and then Prusner just powered through to the first down.
And you can tell Prusner is he's a hard runner. 3 running backs. Waller in the backfield, takes the snap. He's going to keep it. He faked the handoff on an RPO and kept it. He basically faked to Prusner and then just used Prusner as a lead running back and followed him right through the hole for about a 5-yard gain. It'll set up 2nd and 5. I see Mason Smith subbing in on the D-line there. The freshman has had a wonderful freshman season. We've got Parker Stroh at running back, who just made that tackle. Drew Schultz, Owen Hosh, Augie Trinan at running back. A really, really talented and tough Sailor D. 2nd and 5, Waller in the shotgun. Spins, hands off to Prusner up the middle. Gets about 4, and that's going to set up 3rd and short for the Falcons at the Sailor 41-yard line. Well, that'll do it for the first quarter here. The Sailors lead 7-0 There's a breakdown on the field. We're going to take a break in the booth, and we'll be right back. Third and 1 here. With the break between the first and second quarter. Sailors up 7-0. Jeff, how about that Sailor D so far? My goodness.
Yeah, they're bending a little bit on this drive, but they've been superb actually the last 2 or 3 games and this game. So I would expect them to tighten up here, play that run a little bit tighter, and get that ball back.
D-line is looking to get set on a 3rd and short here. 3rd and about a half a yard. The Sailor 41-yard line. Waller under center. Just going to look for a little quarterback. See, though, I think the ball came out.
I thought he did fumble that, but
It looks like they're ruling him down, and he is, boy, that is really, really close. We might have a measurement. Nope, referee is going to signal first down, but it was only by the nose of the football, and that'll reset the chains 1st and 10 at the Sailor 40-yard line. Pretty good D there. Tough to stop when only a half yard to go. First and 10. AP in the I formation. Waller under center. He's going to pitch wide. He's looking to throw. Prusner's looking to throw, and we got to turn around. He completes the pass to Shirk, and he is going to go in for the touchdown. AP digs into their bag of tricks on the halfback pass, and that is completed from Prusner to Shirk, and that is going to bring up a 7-6 ball game pending a extra point attempt.
so that'll go back to my point where that safety's playing so shallow and bit on the. I think he bit on the run there.
Well, I think the corner and the safety bit on the run, and it left Shirk wide open down the field. Wayne to attempt the extra point. Snap, hold, kick, line drive.
Right.
No good. He pushes it wide right. So for the moment, the Sailors retain a 7-6 lead with 11:27 left in the second quarter.
Even on that PAT, you're seeing big penetration by Columbus. I'm telling you, on these special teams, they're going to come into play yet before this game's over.
Well, I completely agree. A lot of pressure from that D-line and the linebacking core, the second level, and it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, you come out and you're tough D. They caught us on a little bit of over pursuit there on the pitch. We had the corner coming up to try to, make sure he can set the edge and string that out to the sideline. And unfortunately, they sneak Shirk behind us and complete the halfback pass. Well-designed play, and that brings us within a 1-point ball game here as we await kickoff.
Yeah, I think the main thing, play your responsibility. Play your responsibility. Now, I know it looked like a pitch, but as soon as you bite on that pitch, boy, it opens up a whole can of worms if he throws it. And it wasn't even that good a throw.
No.
He was so wide open that, the receivers waited. I think even if Columbus turns around, they might either pick that off but he's just trying to catch up at that point to the play.
Yep. So 7-6 ball game, 11:27 in the second quarter. Both kind of odd scores. You've got a blocked punt for a touchdown and then a halfback pass. Not a lot of good traditional football happening, but still some big plays. Wayne to kick off. Nolan and Schultz deep for the Sailors. Line drive kick
That's going to go out of bounds.
Angling out of bounds about the 18-yard line, but the legal procedure penalty for out of bounds will bring that all the way out to the 35-yard line, where the Sailors will take over 1st and 10. So the sloppy play continues on a kickoff out of bounds. Sailors looking to answer the touchdown by AP.
Ball come out to the Sailor 35-yard line. So 1st and 10 there.
Yeah, the Sailors actually had got a couple first downs, couple, 2, 3, 4 nice runs by Schultz, and then, kind of fell apart in that third series and turned it over on downs. So we will see if Columbus can get untracked here offensively.
Robinson hands off to Schultz. Got a little room to the outside. Looking, makes another man miss. The ball's on the ground. And it looks like the Sailors are going to retain possession. Boy, that ball squirted out, was punched out by the Aplington-Parkersburg defender. And the trailing lineman, I couldn't see exactly who recovered that, but a trailing lineman following the play very smartly and alertly falls on that football.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it went out of bounds or we recovered it, but it does look like Columbus recovered it, which is a heads-up play.
So the 6-yard gain stands. The Sailors have the ball 2nd and 4 on the 41-yard line. Twins left. Robinson in the shotgun. Hands off to Schultz. Right up the middle is a nice seam, and he's forward for a 5-yard gain, and that's good enough for a Sailor first down. Sailors coached by head coach Brad Schmidt. 12 years so far at Columbus, assisted by Terrell Foster, Mitch Ram, Nick Bellamy, Drew Robinson, Jed Smith, Caden Ludwig, and Don Patnode. Phenomenal Sailor coaching staff. Robinson in the shotgun. Hands off to Schultz. He's got room to the outside. He's still on his feet. Fighting, about 6-yard gain there to set up another 2nd and 4, and the Sailors are moving the ball on the ground.
Yeah, good blocking scheme. Good job by not only the offensive line, but it looks like one of those receivers peeled back and had a good block for Schultz there. And Schultz running hard. Keep feeding him.
2nd and 4 for the Sailors.
That's Trinan on the O-line, Rudy Lind, Thomas Faraday, Camonte Humphrey, and I believe Parker Stroh at the other guard position. Robinson, keeper, he's got room, he's moving, he breaks one tackle, he drags another tackler forward, and that's good for an 8-yard gain. That's another Sailor first down, and that O-line is absolutely opening up some holes for this Sailor running attack. Robinson, big, strong quarterback, showing his dual threat capability there, dragging a couple of AP Falcons for an 8 to 10-yard gain.
That offensive line, I saw 2 pancakes by the Columbus line right there, is awesome.
Tight formation, Robinson in the shotgun, hands off to Drew Schultz, hesitates, cuts back, finds a little crease, but only good for about a yard. And that'll bring up 2nd and 9. 8:55 left in this second quarter. Reminder that the Sailors will get the ball back to start the second half. AP elected to return as they won the coin toss.
Except for that little bit of rainstorm earlier, Marcus, and the ground being wet, beautiful night, about 69 degrees right now, no wind.
Boy, all season
been lucky.
Had some phenomenal weather. Robinson looking to throw. Curl route complete to Noland along the sideline. Good catch in a little bit of traffic there, but that's good for a 7-yard gain. 6 yards, depending on where they have it marked. That'll bring up 3rd and 4. Nice crisp ball. That one had some heat on it.
Yeah, good pass, good catch. If you can get chunk yardage like that, I know those aren't really sexy plays going way down the field, but that keeps the chains moving. You got to just keep getting 3, 4, 5 yards of crack and keep those chains going.
Well, it sets up 3rd and medium, probably in 4-down territory here. So you're looking to get at least 2 or 3. The ball goes over Monty's. Oh, Robinson's head. The snap goes through Robinson's hands. Another factor of the wet, slick field. The snap went over his head. He couldn't locate it. The AP defender is in the backfield and scoops up the ball, and that is a turnover at midfield where the Falcons will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, and I guess the only little silver lining there is if nobody tackles, if that one guy from Columbus doesn't tackle him, that guy scores.
So the Falcons have it 1st and 10. Waller takes the snap and runs directly up the middle on a design quarterback draw. Powers forward for 6 yards. That's going to bring up 2nd and 4 at the Sailor 44-yard line.
2nd and 5 for the Falcons.
So disappointment hitting there for the Sailors on the slick football miscue. Looking to hold on to their 7-6 lead with 7:50 left in the second quarter. And AP looking to capitalize on the turnover. Drops back Waller, looking to throw. He's pressured. And that one falls incomplete. Waller had Owen Hosh in his face there and couldn't complete the pass to the wideout in the flat. Good pressure there by the Sailor linebacker.
It wasn't, and for a team that doesn't throw a lot, if you pressure that quarterback, you're going to get a miscue usually, and we sure did. Now this is a huge 3rd down here. If you could hold them here, they, with no gain, they're probably going to have to punt. I would not think they'd want to give you a midfield if it comes down to a 4th down.
In a close ball game, if they get stopped for no yards here, I would think they'd want to flip field position and probably punt, try to pin the Sailors deep. Waller looks to hand off to Prusner. Tough run up the middle, and it looks like he's going to be really close to the 1st down. Let's see the spot.
I think he's just short. They're moving that chain.
Boy.
1st down.
It looked like they had him marked short, but then the actual spot when it hit the ground, maybe a football further forward, and that was enough for a Falcon 1st down here in the AP will get a fresh set of downs. Sailors looking to get the ball back after the fumbled snap on offense. Waller takes the snap, looking to throw. Again, throws it kind of behind and short of the intended receiver. That's Eberhardt. Can't bring it in, trying to come back across his body to bring that in, and it's short, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
That AP staff, though, even though they're not getting those completions, you're making Columbus stay honest on those passes.
Actually, a little surprised at how much AP is there. They've already thrown the ball like 4 or 5 times.
Well, I bet a half dozen times.
Yeah.
He has it, yeah.
And I thought that was going to be their total for the entire game. 1 completion on the deep ball and the halfback pass, but still trying to keep the Sailors honest, like you said. Waller under center, I formation. Handoff and then a pitch. A handoff to the fullback and then pitch to Prusner. Robinson wrestling, and he drags down Prusner after a 7-yard loss. Interesting little play there. The handoff to Eberhardt on the fullback, and then he elects to pitch to Prusner on the outside.
Yeah, and Amani played that edge, and even though Prusner carried him for a couple extra yards, if he bites on that first long handoff, Prusner runs right into the end zone.
So 3rd and 4 for AP. Sailors trying to force the 4th down here. Defending a 7-6 lead with 6:53 left in the second quarter. Eberhardt in motion. Quarterback draw right up the middle, gets maybe a half a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th and about 3. Likely 4-down territory here for the Falcons.
Yeah, I think where you're at now, you probably go for this thing, or at least, of course, they're not paying me the big bucks those AP coaches make, but I would go for it, Marcus.
The Columbus student section in a blackout here, looking beautiful. A huge crowd on the Sailors side of the field. Nice crowd on AP stands. A great night for football. As AP's got a 4th and 3 here. Waller keeping on the rollout, looking for him. He's got it complete, and it looks like that's enough for the first down. That is complete to Creighton Eberhardt. Believe that Devin and Creighton are brothers or cousins or nephews or something like that.
One's a senior and one's a sophomore, both good ball players. Yes, sir.
So that one's complete to the older Eberhardt, the senior, Creighton, for a first down. And the Sailors getting backed up now on the 26-yard line here. 3 running backs, Waller in the shotgun. Hands off up the middle to Eberhardt, who's got a seam up the middle. And he is going to take that to the house. Big hole in the middle. The linebackers can't close the gap, and he waltzes into the end zone, about a 25-yard scamper to take the lead for the moment, 12-7 with 5:37 left in the half.
And I saw Kemonte Humphrey just came out. They subbed him out for that play, and they ran right over where he was lined up at before that.
So the Falcons capitalize on the Sailor fumble at midfield to take the lead. Been kind of a game of miscues here to start with, and the Sailors will look to right the ship.
Go for 2.
And they are going for 2. Twins left, Waller in the shotgun. Now a timeout by AP. Maybe not quite set or didn't have the right personnel. So we got a timeout on the field. We're going to take a real quick break, and we'll be back for the after point try here in the second quarter. So the 2-point try here upcoming for the AP Falcons. We got the pep band here on a beautiful evening, playing a little bit of Neil Diamond, baby.
Sweet Caroline.
5 receivers, Waller in the shotgun on the 2-point try. Throws it across the middle, and that is batted down. That's Parker Stroh on the pass block. Beautiful defense there. Keeps the game 7-12. 5:37 left in the second quarter. Nice defense there. And now a touchdown will take the lead back for the Sailors once they get the ball back here. So really, I think the game plan doesn't much change for the Sailors as they get the ball back here. On their first 3 drives, they were stopped on 4th down. They punted and they fumbled. That is our 3 drives. And AP, after 3 punts in a row to start the game, they've scored touchdowns on their last 2 possessions.
Yeah, for sure. The offense has to get on track, and not even on track because they've been moving the ball, and then they just need to finish these drives out.
Just eliminate mistakes. Eliminate mistakes. That fumble was, obviously ill-timed. They were really marching down the field pretty efficiently prior to the turnover. Look to get right here on their 4th possession of the evening. Wayne to kick off for AP. Schultz and Nolan back to return for the Sailors. The kick's away, line drive, again angled towards the out of bounds, and that is going to roll out of bounds again. And the Sailors will take over 1st and 10 on their 35-yard line.
Yeah, the very last drive, they started on the 35, and then it got down to about the 35 of AP, or maybe even the 30 before that miscue. But you got plenty of time, 5.5 minutes, get a good sustained drive, and then hopefully get the ball back right away in the second half.
Score update on the Hudson-Jessup game that has playoff seeding implications. Hudson is up 14-6 on Jessup. Obviously, as we said earlier, if the Sailors win and Hudson loses, the Sailors would have the district championship. Hand off to Schultz up the middle, fighting for a couple yards there, maybe one. We'll bring up 2nd and 9. So Hudson up 8 points on Jessup. For the Sailor fans out there, obviously hoping that Jessup can come back and steal a W there. But the Sailors, first and foremost, can't worry about the Hudson score. They got to take care of business here.
No, win your game and let the chips fall where they may, but need to win this game.
That's exactly right. Sailors break the huddle. 15 seconds left on the play clock. Robinson in the shotgun. Drew Schultz in the backfield. Noland on the near side receiver. Robinson drops back, looking, setting up the screen. Schultz has got it. They've got blocking out front. He's down to the 50, and he breaks into AP territory on a 15-yard screen pass, and that's a Sailor first down, well executed.
Yeah, they suckered 2 or 3 of those linemen in, which you do, and of course you're licking your chops for about 2 seconds, and all of a sudden you're like, oh no, I fell for it. And by that time, too late. Columbus offensive line was out ahead of Drew Schultz, and he made him pay.
Yeah, Robinson did a great job setting up the screen action there and completed a nice ball to Drew Schultz, who had room along the sideline. 1st and 10 from the AP 49. Robinson drops back, pressure. Little jailbait screen. Bryce Phillips down the sideline. He's got it at the 20, and he's knocked out of bounds at the AP 14-yard line. Great job did he hit the Jets down the sideline on that one.
Quick little great hit, quick hitter by Nolan and the quarterback. But I'll tell you what, that thing was blocked almost perfect too.
Beautiful blocking downfield by the rest of the receiving core. And the offensive line gave Robinson just enough time to get that one to Nolan. And boy, did he put the Jets on down. And it's 1st and 10 at the AP 13-yard line.
And that's the response if you're a Columbus fan that you were looking for after 2 straight scores by AP.
I formation, handoff to Schultz up the middle, little bit of room, about a 2-yard gain. He's going to have that one down to the AP 11.
Boy, he's real close to breaking those. He's getting wrapped up right about his ankles. His guys are falling down. If he could just high step over 1 or 2 of those guys, he's going to get some yards.
No surprise that AP is fundamentally sound, well coached, well practiced, fundamentally sound tackling team. As the Sailors have it in business here, 2nd and 8 from the AP 11. Robinson, handoff to Schultz again, looking for room, following Owen Hosh up the middle. Owen Hosh lead blocking there. The left side of the line opens up a nice hole. I think that was Thomas Faraday and Camonte Humphrey on the left side, and that's good for a 4-yard gain. The Sailors are going to have it 3rd and 3. Ball on the AP 6-yard line. Big play here coming up for the Sailors. Wingback formation, handoff to Schultz again on the right side. Boy, he really honestly made a cut to the outside, and I think there was more room to the inside, and he just ran into about 3 AP defenders, and that's going to be 4th and 3.
That's what it looked at. It looked like he might have got just a half a yard or 3/4 a yard, so you're still about 2.5 yards to a first down, and you're going to turn this thing over, or you kick a field goal. I mean, you're in field goal range.
4th and a long 2. Sailors are talking about it. 14 seconds left on the play clock.
Take a timeout.
Yes, that they're going to call timeout. And not bad. This is good clock management because there is only 2:20 left in the half. I mean, you've got the ball down in the 5. You want to milk as much clock off as you can here so that AP doesn't have much time left.
I think not only that, but let's get everybody on the same page. If you're actually going to go for it instead of kick the field goal, get everybody on the same page. Hey, this is what we're doing here, fellas. Let's get one good hard push for 3 yards, or you do one of those little quick hit to your wide receiver and possibly score a touchdown.
So certainly early in the ball game still, but really up to this point, this will be the play of the game as a 4th and 2 upcoming shortly here on the AP 5-yard line. The Sailors can get a first down. So 4th and 2 coming as the Sailors still talking about it in the timeout.
So definitely going for the first down here.
Same wingback formation as third down. They're going to hand it off to Schultz on that same exact play. And he is, oh, this is going to be so close. It's going to depend on a nose of the football.
Referee is walking right down the first line, and it gave us first down.
And it is a first down by a nose. They ran the same play on that wing formation, and that sets up first and goal on the AP 3-yard line.
You could see that cornerback from AP just looking at the ref going, what are you looking at? I don't know. It was close. It was definitely close.
Same formation again, wing back, and they're just going to pound it. They are standing
He's
for a
in.
touchdown. 3 plays in a row, heavy overloaded on the right side. The Sailors came to the line and just said, we are going to run right here. You guys try to stop us.
Yeah, there's no trickery there, man. We're gonna run the ball. We're gonna give it to Drew Schultz again, and he's just gonna keep pounding it till he gets in, and he gets in.
And they are going right behind an overloaded right side with Faraday had shifted over there, Rudy Lind, Augie Trinan. You've got Humphreys and Stroh. I mean, just a bunch of beef up front, and they power it in for the touchdown. 2-point try here. Same play. Schultz fighting, and he's in for the 2-point conversion, and that's going to be 15-12 on a beautiful answering drive there by the hometown Sailors. 1:56 left in the half. We'll take a quick break as the Sailors retake the lead, 15-12, Week 8 at TJ McLaughlin Field in Waterloo, Iowa. Back at TJ McLaughlin Field, Nolan to kick off after the answering drive by the Sailors. Another sky kick down to the up back there. He slips and falls, and that is going to be fortunate for the Sailors as number 3, Luke Jacobson, the up back, slips after feeling it at the 25-yard line where the Sailors will take over 1st and 10.
That's exactly what I was talking about. That's the place you want to put that kick, and Nolan did a great job on that one. A little fortunate that he slipped too, but that's where you want to get that guy to field that thing, right around the 20, 25-yard line.
So the Sailors looking to defend the 15-12 lead. There's a minute 53 left in the half. Sailors will get the ball back to start the third quarter. Waller in shotgun, dropping and rolling to his right, looking to throw back across the grain. There's nowhere to go, and Monahan has the interception. Monahan picks it off. He's at the 50, the 45. He goes down. Beautiful cornerback play by Sean Monahan to take the ball away.
You know, the old tip drill, that he tipped that to himself, just like a basketball player. Dennis Rodman would tip it to himself and then get the rebound. That's exactly what Monahan did.
And let's not forget, we had 3 or 4 Sailors in the backfield putting pressure on the quarterback that forced that ill-advised throw. Rudy Lynn, Thomas Faraday, Camonte Humphrey, who else was back there? Lucas Clark was in there, a whole host of Sailors, and Monahan snatches it out of midair.
I think Monahan, I'm not going to say he's going to take that to the house. He's getting 10 more yards if he doesn't run into our own guy. Great interception.
Sailors back in business on the AP 45-yard line with 1:41 left in the half. Robinson wants to take a shot deep. Nolan going up for the ball. It's a great catch in traffic by Bryce Nolan!
Now you still have a minute 35. The clock won't start again until they set the change. You've got time here, but you can't be willy-nilly about it either.
Sailors with 2 timeouts remaining. The clock starts to wind, 1:30 and counting. First and goal from the 8-yard line. Sailors taking their time, plenty of time left and 2 timeouts. Sailors looking to steal another score after the turnover by Monahan. Robinson in the shotgun. Drew Schultz in the backfield, 3 receivers right. Robinson drops back, looking, throwing, and caught! What a great catch by Bryce Nolan! Goes back across his body for a beautiful catch, and the Sailors strike again!
Nolan's starting to have himself a game, and that was actually an excellent pass by Amani. And you know, you go back through the season, if you would have connected on a few sharp passes like that, and some were Amani and some were guys dropping them, you'd have 2 more wins right now.
Completely agree. Great connections, beautiful, and they capitalize on the turnover and take it right down the field in 2 or 3 plays for the Sailor touchdown. Nolan with the extra point, up and good. 22-12, minute 7 left in the first half, and we will be right back. Welcome back to TJ McLaughlin Field. Columbus Catholic High School takes advantage of the Monahan interception. Bryce Nolan makes 2 beautiful catches on that drive. And one thing we were talking about at the break, Amani Robinson early in the season was putting a lot on those deep balls. A few overthrown, a few off the fingertips, a couple drops, and just not making connections early in the season. The last 3 or 4 weeks, he's just taken a little bit off the ball and given his guys a chance, and they go up and get it. Nolan, another sky kick down, fielded at the 25-yard line. Again, that's Jacobson, the up back. Sailors push him out of bounds. Their AP will take over on the 28.
Yeah, the last 2 kicks by Nolan, you can't do it any better than that. That's the way it's drawn up to make it hit the ground, but you got to clear that first line of defense there and keep them within that 30-yard line, and they surely did.
But back to Robinson, he's given his guys a chance the last 3 or 4 weeks and put a little more air under it, giving his guys and guys like Owen Hosh and Bryce Nolan, big, tall, strong kids, are just going up and winning the jump ball. Waller, hands off. Good pursuit. We do have a flag on the play. Not many flags tonight, but that one, let's wait for the signal here. Maybe in the area of holding, but I'm not quite sure. Let's see what the official says.
Well, about 10 seconds ran off the clock there before they blew that dead.
Holding on the Falcons, so that's going to bring it all the way back, and we'll have 1st and 20. 49 seconds left. It'll be interesting to see if Coach Schmidt elects to use any timeouts on defense and wants one more shot at the football. We'll see.
And that's kind of what I was alluding to. I mean, there should be 57 seconds on there. They just kept the clock running before they called it dead for the penalty. It would give you a little more flexibility on what happens on this down to what you do if you start using those timeouts.
So 1st and 20 from their own 19, 5 wide by the Falcons. He drops back, flip pass out to Prusner's, got a little bit of room, about 12 on the reception there, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 8. And that is going to be a timeout AP. I'm a little surprised that they're actually using a timeout. They're still deep in their own territory. Only 28 seconds. They think they're going to get something going here. 21-12, 28 seconds left in the first half. Sailors will get the ball. to start the third quarter after halftime. And AP trying to get something on the board here, 2nd and 7, deep in their own territory.
Yeah, the key here, you need to close out the half. I don't think you're going to get the ball back. You may, but the key is don't let them spring some play and get that momentum going in their way. They're in shock right now from the last 2 scores. Go into the halftime locker room up by 10 and getting the ball.
Well, and after a sloppy start from both teams, now we've just had a heavyweight fight where these teams are trading punches. The last 4 possessions, 2 from each team, have resulted in 4 touchdowns.
That's an interesting game to watch for sure.
Sailors with the edge, mostly due to the blocked punt early in the first quarter that we had a big man tutty from Kamante Humphrey. That'll be a fun one to watch on the replay.
That should make Channel 7 tonight, hopefully.
5 wide, Waller looking to throw, looking, now he's running, hemmed in there by a host of Sailors for about a 3-yard gain. Now it's 3rd and 3, and AP still elects to call a timeout. Their last of the half, 16 seconds left, and it's 3rd down. And I don't know that that's such a smart timeout, because now if you don't get the first down, it'll bring up 4th down. The Sailors can use one of their timeouts and actually force you to punt, which I'm not so sure you want to do down here based on what's happened so far in the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the aggressiveness. I like the fight and the confidence in your guys, but then they got to come through here on this 3rd down for AP.
Yeah, personally, on your own 35-yard line, I'm not so sure I wouldn't just let that clock run and force either the Sailors to take one of their timeouts or just let the clock run down to halftime. But either way, the Falcons looking to move the ball on 3rd and 3. 16.9 seconds left in this first half.
So obviously the first down does not kill you at all here, but you cannot let anybody get behind you with the 2, looks like 2 safeties back there for Coach Schmidt.
Robinson and Monahan playing about 15 yards off the ball smartly, playing a bend but don't break, a little bit of a hybrid prevent here. 3rd and 3, Waller in the backfield, 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left, dropping back, looking. Good pressure by Faraday, chasing him down, and he flips it just that. I think that's
intentional
grounding.
They're not going to call it.
Brusner was near. He was somewhat near the field, but an obvious throwaway that I feel like that should have been grounding. But
I think Faraday might have got his hand on it.
If the ball is tipped, you're correct. Then there would not be a grounding. So if that ball is tipped, then you're correct. And Brusner was somewhere close to the area. But regardless, with the incomplete pass, now brings up 4th down. And this is a dangerous spot based on your punt team thus far.
See here with this little time, I'd send everybody and you don't even need to have anybody back. Just send everybody. Try to block that thing.
Wayne back to punt. The snap does go over his head. And he's going to try to fall, and he's throwing it. Oh, he's done. He fumbles it again. He fumbles it again.
Touchdown!
For the touchdown! And just a horrific series of events for the Falcons.
Can't make that up.
The self-inflicted wound. They called their own timeout on 2nd and 3rd down, and instead of electing to let the half run out, so then on the incomplete pass, they're forced to punt, and 1 snap's already gone over your head. You've already had a blocked punt, and the Sailors capitalize. Unbelievable series of events, and actually we have a extra point blocked there, but still, the Sailors lead 28-12 with 2 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, he just covers that. By the time they blow that dead, the half's probably over because there's only 2 seconds left. But he tried to pick it up, make a play, and it looked like he was trying to throw it also.
It looked like he was trying to throw it away for the incomplete pass, but as he cocked his arm back, the ball slips out of his hand. I'll tell you, a very wet field, even though it's not currently raining, very wet field, and the wet ball has played into more than just a couple of plays.
It surely has.
Boy, we've had some fireworks. We're only at the first half, Jeff. I might need a nap here at halftime just to have enough energy.
Well, we're going down to get a Gatorade to get re-energized here for sure. Wow.
Goodness gracious, what tremendous action in the first half. We've had a blocked punt for a touchdown. We've had a halfback pass for a touchdown. We've had 2 snaps over the head of the AP punter, 1 converted for a touchdown just on the last play. You really can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, and then 1 or 2. I'm not sure it's the same long snapper as the center, but 1 or 2 over the quarterback's head. So
Absolutely. Crazy wild game tonight. 2.3 seconds left in the first half. Nolan to kick off for the Sailors. This one a squib kick again towards the up back. This time it's number 11, Aiden Merle, the junior, that takes it up the field for about 10 yards, but that time expires and the Sailors take a 28-12 lead into halftime. And we will be back for the third quarter here in just a few minutes.
First up, we have Landon Justice. And it is the son of James and Christy Justice. While at Columbus, Landon has been involved in Kairos, band, jazz band, marching band, NICL honor band, Loris honor band, speech, ball, play, spring musical, individual speech, Spanish club, FLT, NHS, and NCYC. After graduation, Landon's plans are undecided, but he is seeking higher education at a 4-year university. Landon Justice. Next we have M.E. Molinaro Blomaguen. And he is the student of Robin and attends Columbus and participates in all play, large group and individual speech, Spanish club, mock trial, musical, choir, band, and jazz band. After graduation, Emmy plans to attend a university to major in biochemistry with a focus on toxicology. Emmy Molinaro Blomington. Next we have Carly Morgan. Carly is the student of math and Nicole Morgan. While at Columbus, Carly has been involved in football, cheer, ball play, bowling, speech, robotics, MHS, soccer, band, choir, SLT, and musicals. After graduation, Carly plans to go to the University of Northern Iowa to get a bachelor's degree in music education and further her education to a master's program in music therapy at the University of Iowa or Wartburg. Carly Morgan. Next we have Angel Wynn. Angel is the child of Marie Quinn and Tommy Wynn. While at Columbus, Angel has been involved in student government, student lighthouse, volleyball, tennis, robotics, MHS, SLT, band, ball play, and spring musical. After graduation, Angel plans to attend UNI majoring in biology on the pre-physician assistant track. Angel Wynn. And next we have Elise Wing. Elise is this child of Ron and Allison Wing. While at CHS, Elise has been involved in pastoral council, liturgy committee, 2-year captain of the Waterloo swim team, football cheer captain, SLT, student government, student lighthouse, MHS, ambassadors, ball play, all state speech, musical, Iowa, LoTech, NCYC, survey begun, band, jazz band, mock trial, soccer, and tennis. After graduation, Elise plans to go to an undecided college to double major in business and philosophy on a pre-law track. Elise Wing. Thank you to our seniors, ball play, and all our call sisters at Columbus. Good luck to you all. We now welcome to the field, under the direction of Cody McCracken, the Columbus High School Marching Band. Let's give them a big round of applause as they take the field. This year's halftime show includes hits from the 1960s. Their first song tonight is the groovy hit from 1963, Twist and Shout by the Beatles. Forming the #1 record from the summer of 1964, please enjoy this next song by the Beach Boys, I Get Around. Thank you. Columbus Catholic.
Welcome back to TJ McLaughlin Field here in Waterloo, Iowa. We're 3 or 4 minutes from the start of the second half, where the Sailors have a 16-point lead, two-score lead, 28-12, and they will receive the third quarter kickoff to start the second half. I want to bring back up our graphic from the pregame discussion and just touch on a first couple of scenarios here. This game definitely has playoff implications, as well as the game up in Jessup, where Hudson is taking on Jessup. So in the on the left side of your screen there for the viewers at home, the first scenario here is if Columbus wins and Hudson loses to Jessup, then Columbus would be the district champions, Jeff.
Yeah, and right now I believe last thing we heard. I mean, obviously Columbus is in good shape. Last thing we heard, Hudson was up by a touchdown.
They are up 14-6 right now at halftime on Jessup, so a one-score game there.
So still a doable thing there, but once again, what we talked about is take care of your business here. Let the chips fall where they may. If Hudson loses, they lose, but otherwise you lock down number 2.
That's exactly correct. So if Columbus wins and Hudson wins, then Hudson would be the district champion. The Columbus Sailors and Hudson would both have the same district record, but Hudson did nip the Sailors here at Columbus here a couple of weeks ago to get the win. So they own the head-to-head tiebreaker. So if both Hudson and Sailors win, Hudson would be the district champion. If Columbus does lose and Hudson wins, the Sailors still have second place in the district locked up, even with a loss tonight. And that is the benefit of the tiebreaker over over Union, I believe that is.
Yeah,
Now,
and that is obviously not the route you want to go with it. You know, you're up 16 going into the third quarter. You don't want to have a collapse here, lose the game, and kind of go limping in, even though you'd have a home field advantage with a number 2 seed. You want to win this game, still keep hope for that number 1 seed, but lock down that home field and the momentum that goes with it.
yeah, you definitely want to lock in no worse than the two seed because, as folks at home may or may not know, the top 4 teams from each district in 1A do make the playoffs, but only the district champion and the runner-up, the second-place team, get home games in that first round of the playoff, which in high school football is just monumental to have that home field advantage going into the playoffs.
It absolutely is. And, you know, just by the numbers, obviously, you're going to have a 3 seed from a different district. Does that mean you're favored over them? I don't think necessarily so, but you're playing at home, so you got to be feeling good about yourself.
Definitely. So a couple minutes here from the kickoff to start the second half. Jeff, talk to me a little bit about, which side of the ball you want to start with? You want to start with the Sailor defense or the Sailor offense?
Well, let's start with defense because I think that's what's going to end up winning this game for them if they do win. If you can keep them shy of 16 points, it's going to have to be 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions if I'm doing my math right, just a tie, without Columbus scoring again. You just need to play good fundamental defense. What you are going to have to do, though, is they've shown the proclivity AP has that they're going to throw the ball. I'm not saying they're going to throw it at a great clip or even quality, but you've got to still play your position and play, do your job, and don't bite on anything. No big plays. That's the defensive side of it for Columbus.
Well, as you said, the coming into the game, AP has only attempted 44 passes all season in 7 weeks.
Yeah, I think
they've probably thrown 10 or 12 times tonight, which is a little bit of a surprise. One of them goes for the touchdown, the halfback pass that fooled the Sailors secondary. But overall, AP has really found their yardage on the ground and been tough to stop. Sailors offense now. What do you like to see here to start the third quarter?
Well, I think you keep just a hammer down. I think your offensive line is slowly eroding AP's defensive line down. Drew Schultz is getting a little more confident. Even on a couple of those runs where he only got a yard or two. One, I think he should have cut the other way. A couple times he slipped. Otherwise, he'd be having a monster game right now.
The other thing in the last few weeks with a healthy offensive line, the Sailors have really taken over the second half up front and in the trenches. They've worn down the defense. Always better to be playing offense on a wet field because you know where you're going. The defense doesn't. And you can really tire out a team by putting together a couple of runs in a row.
Last point on the offense right before the kick, if you can somehow manage to score here, really going to start to demoralize that team from Aplington-Parkersburg.
Sailors up 28-12, start of the third quarter. Wayne to kick off for AP. Hogan, Dorn, and Nolan deep for the Sailors. And we are underway in the second half. End-over-end kick. Nolan lets it bounce, fields it at the 17, trying to look for some room on the outside, cuts it up the middle. Nice cut. Flag on the play. Nolan brings it out to the 30-yard line for the time being, and the indication is holding against the Sailors. That one's going to come back 10 yards.
Yeah, and they had that was set up nice. Maybe that was a little bit of the hold, though, too. But Nolan did a good job, got a nice gain. They would have started from around the 32. Now they're going to back them all the way up to somewhere around the 20-yard line, I believe.
So holding on the spot of the foul is a 10-yard line. The holding occurred at the 31, so it's backed up to the 21-yard line where the Sailors will start first and 10, looking to extend on their 2-score, 16-point lead here in the third quarter. Sailors in their all-black uniforms, white helmets, moving left to right on your television screen. Robinson takes it under center in the I formation. Handoff to Schultz. He's got a nice seam, and he powers his way forward for about 4.5 yards. Going to bring up, second and 6 from the Sailor 25.
Yeah, once again, a heavy dose, I think, here of that offensive line and Drew Schultz. Hey, it's going to be a double bonus. You're going to keep those chains moving, and you're going to eat up a lot of clock.
Sailors love to grind the clock when they have the lead, and they've got the horses up front to do it. Robinson under center, I formation. Owen Hosh is the fullback. Drew Schultz is the tailback. Mason Smith, the freshman, in motion, switches sides in the tight end position. Handoff to Schultz up the middle, another nice hole, and he powers forward for about 5 yards. And we're going to be right about the first down marker, and they give him enough.
Yep.
Sailor first down, as our PA announcer Corey Gross in the booth calls, if you can hear it on the crowd mic. And that's a great job by the Sailor along 2 runs to start the second half. Get the 10 yards, and you're in business here. 1st and 10 on the 32-yard line. Same formation, I formation, Robinson under center. Same play. Schultz bounces it to the outside. He's got room, and he's still going. Carrying 3 and 4 Falcons for a 18-yard gain and another Sailor first down.
Schultz did a real good job there. Not only running the ball, protecting the ball. 2 different AP guys, and they're hunting for the ball now. They need a turnover. We're swiping at the ball, and he had that close to his chest, and both arms wrapped around it. Nice run by Drew Schultz.
Scoreboard announcement. Hudson does score in the 3rd quarter. They are up in business 21-6 on Jessup. Sailors looking to get the W here to wrap up either 2nd or 1st place in the district, depending on the Hudson game. Robinson in the shotgun. Handoff to Schultz again up the middle. He's got more room, but there is a flag on the play, and that one's in the area of holding and probably coming back. Boy, a lot of nice seams there. Maybe opened up by a little bit of grab there, but great job by the O-line. And that one's coming back for holding. And we'll have 1st and 20 from the 40-yard line. No, you talked about it all season. You know, the penalties that really frustrate you and kill you as a coach are false starts, procedure penalties, things like that. Holding penalties in high school football, they're going to happen from time to time. You don't love them, but, you know, you're playing aggressive out there.
Yeah, it's not only that, you know, just to put a nice point on it, some of these guys are in high school. Their bodies might get turned and they don't even want to, and your arms might look like you're holding when you're not holding.
Sure. Robinson drops back. He's got a screen a little high for Drew Schultz. Play was a little bit discombobulated, a little bit of pressure on Robinson, a little bit of traffic over by Schultz, and the ball falls incomplete. Will bring up 2nd and 20.
Drew not happy about that. He had to kind of lay out for it, jump real high, and he got stuck pretty hard. So, you know, now you got a 2nd and 20, and may need to open it up a little bit here. But boy, hate to have another incompletion and keep that clock not running.
See what the Sailors do here on 2nd and long from their own 40-yard line. Robinson in the shotgun. Hosh in the wingback position. He's in motion. Robinson takes the snap, hands off to Schultz, who's got some room, and he's loose along the sideline for a nice 8-yard gain. A late flag from the back judge. I don't know if that was maybe a face mag or that was a strange spot for a late flag to come with. 2 flags on the field, and let's see what the penalties are here, Jeff.
Yeah, the one in the defensive backfield was real wacky.
So we do have 1 penalty as a face mask, and the other was a block in the back on the Sailors. Those are going to be offsetting penalties, and so we'll just replay 2nd and 20 here. So the block in the back on the Sailors, the face mask on the Falcons, penalties offset, and it's like it never happened. We'll play 2nd down over again. Gorgeous night for football here in Waterloo. Hosh in motion. Robinson takes a snap, and it's an end around by Bryce Nolan, who's
got a lot of room.
And he's got it escort down the sideline. Bryce Nolan takes it all the way down into Falcon territory and is pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Great play design and great blocking for the speedy Nolan down the sideline.
It looked like Hosh might have almost had a little baby hold there, and I looked at the official, and he kind of reached in his pocket, but it was just so non-consequential he didn't throw the flag. great blocking scheme. Actually, really good play call.
I mean, when you've got Rudy Linden, Thomas Faraday pulling to your side, what are you going to do if you're the poor little D-back out there and you see those two hosses coming around the end at you?
Well, it's like when you see those little kindergarten kids playing. Sometimes they just turn around and start running away. Don't want to get freight train.
Robinson in the shotgun. Isaac Sitzman in the game at the tailback position. Sitzman with the ball, looking for room, covering the ball. Nice job with ball security there. Does force his way forward for about a yard. And Sitzman will substitute out for, so nope, Sitzman's still in the game. And Robinson comes to the sideline to take the play call from Coach Brad Schmidt. So 2nd and 9 from the Falcon 29-yard line. 8:24 left in the third quarter on the Sailor first drive of the second half. Tight formation. Robinson under center, hands off to Schultz, looking for a seam, another flag on the play. And he's, the referee, Coach Schmidt is not happy with this call, but the referee signaling to Coach Schmidt on the sideline that there was a bear hug type holding with both arms around the lineman.
And real hard to see. There's so many bodies in there, you know. My guess is that official's called, I don't know what player he's getting, but he's honing in on somebody, and he's got, we've had 3 holding penalties in the last 10 plays.
So a lot of yellow laundry on the field to start the third quarter here. Sets up another 2nd and long. It'll be 2nd and 19 from the Falcon 39. Actually, probably 2nd and 20. Bunch formation again. Robinson under center. And that one is we jumped. It looked like we flinched on the offensive line in a self-inflicted drive here. Moving the Sailors in the wrong direction will set up 2nd and 25.
Yep.
The thing about this is the Sailors do have a quick stride offense. They like to throw the ball deep. They're not afraid to take shots down the field. Or you could play a little trickery and set up a screen play if the Falcons are coming aggressively on the pass rush.
Well, Coach Schmidt's setting them up. I don't know if it's going to be now on 2nd and 25, but you know what it is now, about 2nd and 30, it looks like.
Sailors again in the bunch formation, 2nd and forever. Drops back, hands off to Schultz. He's got a little bit of room, a nice little run there, about 10-yard gain to take a chunk out of 2nd and long, and that's going to set up 3rd and 15 from the Falcon 35-yard line. So depending on what you do here, might be 4-down territory. Maybe you're looking for 8, 10, 12 yards to set up 4th and short. Not sure if you'd elect a punt from your own 30 or from their 35, but we'll see what happens on 3rd down here.
Yeah, I think if you don't gain anything, you have to punt here. If you get half this back, boy, then you're in no man's land. You could do either or.
4 receivers in the game for the Sailors. Robinson drops back, looking, doesn't like what he sees, and he is going to take the sack, but that ball is on the ground, and they whistle it dead. Boy, Sailors dodge a bullet there. Robinson smartly doesn't try to force anything on 3rd and long. He didn't like what he saw downfield. Everyone covered, so he takes the sack and thankfully is ruled down by contact before the ball came out.
Yeah, and I think they were blowing that. There was 3 guys on him, and they were blowing it right as it got knocked out of his hand. So that's a good solid call. That play was over.
So 4th and a mile from the Falcon 44, and the Sailors are going to let the clock run here a little bit. I don't know if Coach Smith is planning to call a timeout here as we have 8 seconds left on the play clock, and Sailors not yet in formation. Or they may even take the delay of game. We'll see what happens here. So they do throw the flag. The Sailors just looking to wind clock, take the intentional delay of game, not really consequential because it's 4th and forever and you're at midfield. So it'll bring up 4th and about 30 where the Sailors will look to punt the ball away.
Well, even though the tail end of that drive was pretty disappointing, the little golden nugget there is they blew half the third quarter right there on that that drive.
Robinson gets under pressure, gets the punt away. Fair catch signaled by AP. Believe that's Shirk, who fair catches the ball. Nice punt by Robinson all the way down to the AP 20-yard line, where the Falcons will take over 1st and 10.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
.5:35 left in the third quarter. Like you said, I mean, the Sailors wind about 6 minutes of clock, 6.5 minutes of clock on their first drive. So even though you don't come away with points, that's a good, solid drive. Handoff up the middle. Big collision there between the Sailors. Bryce Noland, I believe, on the tackle. No, that's Augie Trinan delivering a hit. And the Falcons in a little bit of hurry up here. And no huddle. Broken play.
Yeah, I think he
wanted
to hand it off, and oh boy, we got a flag.
Late flag here. I don't know if there's a late hit. There's 2 flags on the play. And one official at least is signaling a personal foul, so I don't know if we have a late hit or a face mask. We'll wait for the indication from the head official. For the moment, 2nd and 8. Referees are going to talk about it. Head official trying to get an indication from the AP coach.
Well, it sure looks like AP's walking back.
It
so.
must be a personal foul.
Unless it was a late hit offensively, where they block somebody after the play.
Yeah, we didn't get an indication, but probably looks like maybe an unsportsmanlike conduct or late hit by the AP team, and that backs them up. That is a huge hit to them. And that is going to be, if it's after the play, that means the down counts, which would bring up 3rd down in about 23. So 11-yard line. Waller in the shotgun, elects to hand off. Very conservative play call there. I believe that's Prusner muscling his way forward for about 6 yards. And 4th down here, a little bit of a sloppy start to the third quarter.
Yeah, both teams. Columbus obviously moved the ball pretty good and then shot themselves in the foot. And then AP, same thing. That 50, just hard to overcome a 15-yard penalty.
I'm telling you right now, if I'm AP, the last thing I want to do in this football game is punt from my own 15-yard line. Their punt has been a disaster tonight. The snap is back and handled. Gets a kick away, a line drive kick. Monahan's going to have a chance to return it. He's at the 40. Little room along the sideline. Nice 10-yard return. And the Sailors are in Falcon territory with the ball at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, they're cooking right now. Boy, a couple good plays to Drew Schultz, and they could be in the end zone. But once again, have to play mistake-free. Concentrate here, fellas.
And just like that, 4:18 left in the third quarter. Sailors protecting a 16-point lead and looking to add to it with good field position here on their second drive of the second half. Two receivers left, one receiver right. Now Nolan comes to the near side. Drew Schultz, the tailback. Owen Hosh in motion. Robinson takes a snap, handoff to Schultz. He's got some room on the outside, slips, and he's met for no gain. Thought he had a little room out there, but a little hesitation and a little unsure footing ends up going for no gain.
Yeah, and then when you run that to the short side, it kind of hamstrings you a little bit anyway with the just the numbers on the field. But one of the keys again now is, control the clock here. There's it's under 4 minutes now in the third quarter.
3:46 and counting in the third quarter. Sailors in their all black come to the line of scrimmage. Tight formation again. Robinson takes a snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it on the quarterback draw. Boy, big and strong, carrying about 6 guys forward. And he muscles his way up to the 24-yard line. Good for about 3 or 4 yards, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 6. Boy, he's tough to bring down.
Yeah, it took 3 or 4 of those guys that, I guess the only critique I'd give the officials there is blow that whistle a second or two earlier. You know, the forward progress was done. The play's over. I don't want anybody getting hurt here with 4, 5, 6 guys running you out of bounds.
Yeah, in high school football, you got to protect the players. He's obviously, stopped with the forward progress, and you don't blow that one dead. Robinson under center, I formation. Sailors grinding clock on the ground here. Nice little bounce move by Schultz. He is very close to the first down. Looks like we're going to have fourth and about a half a yard.
I think that makes your decision pretty easy now, Coach.
Well, it might be one of those situations where they, in the first half, where they line up on the goal line in that wing formation, they just say, hey, guys, we're going to run right here.
Yep.
You can go ahead and try to stop us, but we're running behind Rudy Lind. We're running behind Thomas Faraday, Kamante Humphrey, Augie Trinan, Parker Stroh, and it's like, if you're the defense, I don't like their odds. Wingback formation. Hand off to Schultz on that same play to the right side. Muscles forward. He does fall forward.
Boy, it's going to be
I think
close.
the second effort is going to give him, the spot is going to be very close. And the Sailors have gone to the well a handful of times. And that is a Sailor first down. The AP coach lobbying for the measurement.
Yeah, that chain gang hasn't ran out one time in
But
all these
that
close
is-
fourth downs.
That is that argument is falling on deaf ears with the line judge. And the Sailors are in business here. 1st and 10 from the Falcon 27-yard line. And I'll tell you what, tick, tick, tick. We're down to 1:18 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, you're a couple plays and you'll be in the fourth quarter. Keep making progress here and hold on to the ball.
I formation, Robinson under center. Flag on the play. It looks like we had some movement. I believe that actually I saw the referee signaling to Coach Schmidt with the 2-1. I believe that was the tailback Isaac Sixman, and I think maybe just a little bit of that forward lean before the snap.
Yeah, it might have been. I didn't see that. It was definitely, he called it right at the hike of the ball, so you knew there was some movement there. But once again, moving backwards here.
So 1st and 15. Penalties stopped the last drive on the Sailors. Looking to correct that first down false start as we have I formation in 1st and 15. Robinson hands off to Sitzman, looking for room, fighting. Just can't quite break the tackle. And that is Parker Mulder with the tackle in the backfield there. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 20 for the Sailors. And again, kind of going in the wrong direction once we get into AP territory.
Yeah, tip your hat off to AP there. The line and the linemen and the linebackers had a good beat on the ball. There was 3 or 4 guys on Sitzman there.
There's a 4-second differential between the play clock and the third quarter here, so the Sailors are going to elect to wind this all the way down and let the third quarter expire. We're going to take a break in the booth. The Sailors will have it 2nd and 20 at the AP 37 when we come back for the fourth quarter. We'll be right back.
They got to get all the way to the 19-yard line for a first down.
It is a second and forever here. It's on the 37-yard line as we start the fourth quarter. As we were just talking about during the break, is that, boy, that third quarter went awfully fast. I'm not sure there was a pass attempt the entire quarter, and that kept the clock moving to the Sailor advantage.
Yeah, the only thing that slowed it down even a little bit was a few penalties, but that quarter flew by. And that's what Columbus wants to do. Obviously, they want to get a score, But the next secondary thing is keep that clock running and get this victory and look towards next week, first round of the playoffs.
Robinson comes out under center. Drew Schultz in the tailback position. Rolls out to his right. Rolls looking under pressure. Just heaves it down over the sideline. Thankfully, a Sailor close enough there to avoid the intentional grounding. Great job by Robinson avoiding the rush and allowing the ball to fall incomplete.
Yeah, you don't want to take a sack there, but somehow if Amani can juke that guy, boy, he's got a lot of field he can run.
Yeah, there was a lot of open field on the left side there.
I don't think you can take that chance, this late in the game. That's the wise move from Robinson.
So 3rd and 19 from the AP 37 as the clock continues to tick. Well, nope, stopped on the incomplete pass. 11:53 left in the game. Robinson in the shotgun. Trips to the right. Drops back. He's got the ball out there to Nolan. Oh, just off his fingertips. Nolan has made a couple of spectacular catches tonight. That one just a little too far out in front of him and off his fingertips.
Let him just a few inches too far. Otherwise, that would have been a nice play.
You know, even though you get the incompletion, as a quarterback with a 16-point lead and in the fourth quarter, you really like the fact that Robinson, even though he let him a little bit too much there, is putting it where only his guy can get it.
Absolutely. Now you're going to punt the ball, and the goal here is obviously pin AP deep.
So Robinson back to punt on 4th and long, looking to pin the Falcons deep in their own territory. Handles the snap. They came after it a little bit, but a good end-over-end kick. It's a great Sailor
Right
bounce.
out about the 8-yard line.
Out of bounds, right about the 9 or 10-yard line. Well executed by the Sailors, both from a blocking standpoint and the great punt by Robinson.
Well, I think he saw them coming, and he hurried up his kick a little bit, so that's even a more impressive punt by Amani Robinson right there.
Snap was a little high, but he handled it well, and there definitely was a rush coming from AP, and he almost a little quick kick there, got rid of it and got a nice forward roll down to the AP 10-yard line. Sailor D looking to stand tall here with a 2-score lead. Handoff, no, fake, and he kept it, and he is swallowed by Faraday, Rudy Lind, Humphrey, Drew Schultz. We had a bunch of Sailors in there, and that's a 4-yard loss on first down.
Yeah, it doesn't get much more demoralizing than that. I see that Lindsey was in on that tackle, and then he puts his hand up and helps the guy up. It's like, oh, man, you tackle me and you're helping me up.
Sailors getting nasty on defense here, 2nd and 14. AP with a little bit of illegal procedure. We had about 3 or 4 guys moving all at the same time, and a miscue is going to back the Falcons up even further, and they're going to have their backs in the shadow of their own goal line.
And I might have said Drew Lindsey right there instead of Drew
Schultz.
Drew Schultz. Drew Lindsey graduated last year. He's I think he's down at Iowa or Kirkwood or somewhere.
Golfer,
Yeah.
Baseball player.
Yeah, state champion golf team, you bet.
Yeah. So Falcons in 5 wide. Waller is just going to try to power this one up the middle on 2nd and 15. Not much there. Great job by the Sailor defense, and this is going to bring up 3rd and long as the clock continues to run with 10:48 left in the ball game.
Yeah, and I know that's their bread and butter, running the ball. The problem is with this little amount of time left now, 10 minutes left in the game, buried in their own end zone, you've got to make something happen here if you want to get back in the game.
This is the downside to having a run-heavy offense and not throwing the ball out, is that it is difficult to come back in ball games when you can't control the line of scrimmage. Waller back to pass at his own end zone, lets it flip out and just through the hands of the AP receiver along the sideline. I think he was out of bounds.
I think he was too, but that was good coverage.
Great coverage by Hogan Dorn on the corner, and then also Sean Monahan, who has 1 interception on the day, was looking to hawk that one from the safety position and come over on the help along the sideline.
So now, Marcus, you want to see interesting. This guy is going to be, the punter is now going to be 5-10 yards deep in the end zone. There is zero margin for error on this play.
Dangerous punt situation for AP. High snap, gets it away. A nice punt all the way out to midfield. Monahan wisely waves for the fair catch, and that's easily the best executed punt by AP of the evening.
Yep. Nice job by the punter there. Got another high snap, but handled it and actually had a really good punt there.
Score update from the Hudson-Jessup game. Hudson in control, 28-8. Jessup did manage a safety, which means they'll be getting the ball back, but I believe that one is in the fourth quarter. And Hudson in control, up 20 points. And looks like they may take the district title, barring some type of miracle up in Jessup. The Sailors, if they hold on to this one, 10 minutes left in the ball game, up 28-12, will secure second place in the district in a home playoff game next week. Robinson hands off to Schultz. Sailors wisely keeping this on the ground and let the clock run. Goes for no gain, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10. Huge shout out to Brandon Bolin from B2 Productions, who does all things live streaming. He gets all the setup going, runs the audio, the video. No cameraman here tonight, just so you folks know at home. That is the Huddle AI camera, so we can't really control. I don't want you thinking that the cameraman's out to lunch or anything. It just kind of floats around wherever it finds movement. Robinson in the shotgun. Schultz in the backfield. Handoff to Schultz, looking, running forward for about 3, bring up 3rd and 7 with 9:15 left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Schmidt's going to get too fancy here, even though he's got a big bag of tricks, and you never know. You know, you're going to win this game if you just trade 2 more punts each. And at some point, AP right now, they're going to have to go for it on every 4th down.
Yeah, I mean, you're down 2 scores. There's 8:50 left in the ball game. First off, you got to get off the field here, but they're going to be selling out, trying to stop guys, trying to strip the ball, trying to do anything they can.
Provided if they get the ball back twice, correct?
Yeah, very true. Robinson in the shotgun, 3rd and 7, dropping back to pass. Flip pass out to Nolan, who's speedy, and he's got the first down and more. Another great catch, and boy, is he dangerous after the catch. Breaking tackles and out for a Sailor first down.
Yeah, done a real nice job on the screen plays tonight. I think every one of them has gained 10 yards plus.
His hands tonight are phenomenal. Anything in his vicinity, he's snatching out of the air and then making moves and making guys miss after the catch. Clock continues to run, now down to 8:15, 1st and 10 from the AP 33-yard line. Robinson in the backfield. Going to keep it up the middle, fake the handoff, design quarterback draw, goes for 2 yards as he falls forward, brings up 2nd and 8. Clock ticking down to 7:45 left in the fourth quarter. The Sailors are driving on their possession here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, no fireworks here in the second half whatsoever, but if you're a Columbus fan, you're just darn happy. Just hold on to the ball and chew up clock here.
Absolutely correct. Nothing wrong with the continue to keep it on the ground, watch the clock run. Bunch formation on the left. Schultz in the backfield gets the handoff again up the middle. He is met immediately there by Parker Mulder again. That's his 2nd or 3rd tackle for loss. Not necessarily terrible for the Sailors. They maintain control of the football. 3rd and 11, and the clock continues to run under 7 minutes now. So for all the theatrics and fireworks in the first half, the second half has been complete opposite of just ball control and really what I call it's just a game of keep away.
Yeah, and really to Coach Schmidt's favor, I mean, he's calling these plays and getting them up the line right at the, well, they're going to have to take a timeout on this one, it looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're milking every bit of time off the play clock and the game clock. He elects to let that one run all the way down to 0 on the play clock. Calls a timeout with 6:27 left in the game. Sailors lead 28-12, and we'll be right back. Back in action here at TJ McLaughlin Field, 3rd and 11. Time winding down to 6:27 left in the ball game. A nice little flip reverse to Nolan. They've run that before, and he's got room out there.
Holy, that is a good
Can't
tackle.
break the last tackle, and he's gets about a 4-yard gain. But boy, if he can sneak past that one,
I think
he would have had some room.
Two AP guys hit him simultaneously.
Yeah. So 4th and 9, and AP now burning a timeout on defense just to try to salvage a little bit of clock, and probably a pretty smart move because you still need 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions if you want to get back in this ball game with only 6 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, AP's, their back's against the wall right now with 6 minutes and down by 2 touchdowns, 2 two-pointers, and that would just be to tie the game. Yeah, the clock is not on their side. And you're right, another 40 seconds is going to click off if they don't take that timeout. But at some point, they're going to run out of timeouts also.
Absolutely. Score update from the Hudson-Jessup game. Hudson still up 28-14. The Jessup Jayhawks did get a touchdown, missed the extra point, but they've brought it within 2 scores, 28-14, but only 6 minutes left in that ball game as well. So we'll take a little bit of a minor miracle up there for Jessup to pull that one off to help the Sailors out with the district rankings. As we've said multiple times, if the Sailors win and Hudson wins tonight, the Sailors will lock up 2nd place in the district, which will be good enough to get a home game next Friday in the first week of the playoffs. Sailors setting up on 4th and 9 here. Would expect them to... Oh, no, I'm sorry. They're in the punt formation. Apologies there. Punt formation, AP coming after it. Robinson, a beautiful looping line drive punt that just sits there. And Mason Smith downs that one at the 15-yard line, where AP will take over down 2 scores with 5:55 left in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, so AP now has 85 yards to go for, 1 score. With 5:55 to go, 2 timeouts. Does not look promising for the Falcons, but you never know. We've already seen some crazy things in this game.
We've seen a lot of crazy things, but without that quick strike deep ball and things like that, like, you're going to have something go your way here if you're the Falcons, and the Sailors looking to just continue to snuff out these AP drives. Nice pass to the outside flat there. That shirk with some room along the sideline. That one does go for 20 yards.
Yeah, Columbus played that one a little too soft.
And he is forced out of bounds. That one only took about 7 seconds for a 20-yard gain. And yeah, I agree. Maybe a little too soft there on the coverage for the Sailors. AP comes to the line. Waller in shotgun. Prusner in the backfield. Drops back. Looking for room. Gonna run. Sailors in pursuit. Augie trying to bring him down.
Oh, he's past the line of scrimmage.
The line of scrimmage. I believe that is going to be null and void. The ball was completed to Shirk, but the line judge correctly notices that Waller on the scramble crossed over the line of scrimmage, and that makes that an illegal forward pass.
Yeah, it was real close, too bad for Waller. I mean, it was just maybe a foot over the line, and then they would have had a positive yardage, but boy, that's kind of the way it went. He's trying to make a play. I get it.
Would have been a first down, but instead that's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and I believe loss of down as well. So it should be 2nd down and 15. Here it is. Yeah, the line of scrimmage was the 34-yard line, and I think he released that ball at about the 34.5-yard line is all.
It was just barely over, but we have a really good angle. We're almost right down that line, so we could see it also.
2nd and 15, 5:38 left in the ball game. AP comes to the line. Waller in the backfield with Prusner. Looking. Great protection. Now the pocket collapses. Waller scrambles for it, gets 4 yards, and he's brought down by Thomas Faraday of the Sailors.
Yeah, nice job by Faraday. He was all the way chasing the quarterback in the backfield and then came all the way back up to make the tackle. Nice job. Good effort.
3rd and 8, clock running, now coming up on 5 minutes left in the ball game. Sailors in control, 28-12. 5 wide for the Falcons. Waller slings it out on a swing pass to, that's Prusner, breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle, and Drew Schultz with a touchdown-saving tackle after about a 40-yard gain. Very dangerous there for the Sailors, but thankfully Drew Schultz tracks him down for the stop.
Absolutely what AP needed. They were backs up against the wall and got a huge play right there.
Big play on 3rd and 8 there, brings the ball all the way down to the Sailor 33-yard line. AP in the hurry-up offense, coming to the line quickly. Waller drops back, completed again to Prusner. I believe that is the exact same play, just to the opposite side. Exact same play, clock ticking, 4:18 left in the ball game. Falcons in the hurry-up.
I mean, it's essentially it's a run play, even though it's a pass play. You're getting it real quick out to your running back and let him, try to make some yardage.
Yeah, just an extended handoff, really. Coming to the line quickly, 5 wide again. I don't think AP's passed this much in their entire season. There's a flag on the play, and I believe that is going to be holding against AP. The D end basically tried to tackle Humphrey, but he even broke away from the hold and still made the tackle. Let's see the indication here. It is a holding call on AP. That's going to back them up 10. It'll be 1st and 20 from backs them all the way up to the Sailor 34-yard line. .355 left in the ball game. Sailors looking to lock up no worse than 2nd place tonight in the district, pending the Hudson win or loss. Oh, and he's crushed! He is crushed by Owen Hosh! Waller never saw him on the outside linebacker blitz.
He did. Waller did a good job just holding on to that ball. Never saw it, and the next thing he knew, he was just about ready to pass, still had it in his hands. Otherwise, he probably fumbled, so nice job by the quarterback there, but a great job by the defensive line call there with Hosh on that blitz.
2nd and a mile here from the Sailor 41. Waller in the backfield, looking, surveying downfield. Now he wants to run. No, he lets it rip. It's up in the air and almost picked off by Drew Schultz, but he breaks up the pass and it falls incomplete down near the Sailor 5-yard line.
I would love to see that again. I think it went right through Schultz's hands. I mean,
great coverage by the Sailors. They had 3 guys in their dangerous throw by Waller, but really at this point in the game, you have no choice but to try to make something happen.
Yeah.
Well, he was dangerously close to the line of scrimmage again on that one when he let it rip. 3rd and 28, 3 minutes left in the ball game. Sailors looking for a stop. Certainly 4-down territory this late in the game and down 16. Waller takes the snap, slings it out. Looks like it's going to be a double pass.
Pass.
And it is complete. So the backwards pass completed over to Shirk, who then finds the out route, and a lot of work on that one for 15 yards, but still a 15-yard gain. You stay alive here for a 4th and 12.
Staying in the hunt. This is the play now. This is essentially the ball game. If they don't get this 4th down, Really, really hard to see that they can make up those points.
Well, with only 2 timeouts and down 2 scores, this is really comes down to it. I agree. If they don't get this, ball game pretty much over. Waller in the shotgun, 5 wide. Now there's a timeout. Sailors elect to take a timeout on defense. Not a bad call. They're going to talk about this. For all you fans at home, make sure you stick around for the postgame after the game is over. Coach Brad Schmidt is going to join us up in the booth, and Jeff Bradley is going to sit down and chat with Coach Brad Schmidt after the game here in postgame. So make sure you stick around after the game is over here and listen to what Coach has to say about the upcoming playoffs.
We'll try to fill the time as best we can before he gets up here. And then, Marcus, if you want to get on and ask him a couple questions, we'll do that also.
I don't know. I leave that the mastery of the interview to the legend over here to my left, Jeff Bradley.
Well, game reset here, folks. Under 3 minutes. Sailors up by 2 scores. Boy, they're in good shape here, and it's going to come down to this 4th down play right here.
4th and 12 or 13 on the Sailor 26. Really kind of last desperation hope here for the Falcons. With only 2 timeouts, the Sailors will be able to, if they get the stop, will be able to milk quite a bit of time off the clock. So Sailors trying to put the ball game away right here. Waller in the shotgun, 5 wide for AP. Takes the snap, drops back, looking, blitz on the outside. He gets away from trouble. Now he finds a man in the middle of the field. It is complete down to the Sailor 5-yard line, and this one not over yet.
It is not great play by that quarterback. Man, they blitzed him. He dodged it. They're going to spike it here. And
they rush up to the line of scrimmage smartly. The clock, temporarily stops on the first down in high school as they set the chains. And it's going to be 2nd down and goal from the 6-yard line. Sailors defending a 16-point lead with 2:44 left in the ballgame. So a little bit of late game dramatics here.
You never know. You never know.
Sailors looking to stiffen up and keep AP at bay here late in the game. 8 seconds left on the play clock. Waller again in the shotgun. Looking. He's under duress, and he gets rid of it very smartly. That was Augie Trinan, Owen Hosh, and Thomas Faraday all in the backfield. And he just tried to dump it out to Prusner in the flat there, and the ball falls incomplete. Bring up 3rd and goal from the 6. Sailors need 2 plays to seal this one up.
And they've, which makes sense. They've abandoned the run game, but you almost can't run it here either, because if you don't get in, you're going to have to get up and run a play on 4th down.
You really need to say, with down 2 scores, you really have to save your timeouts on defense, or the score almost doesn't matter. Throws for the end zone, and that one is complete and caught for the touchdown there. Just an inside slant route. And I believe that's one of the Eberhardt boys, and I couldn't see which one. But either way, AP does get the touchdown. Now they have to go for 2 here. They're down 10 still. They're going to try to make it a 1-score game. So this really is this play is just as big as the 3rd and goal from the 6.
Absolutely, absolutely. That was actually a real good throw by AP quarterback and a good catch. Good pattern by the receiver.
Good quick slant there. So going for 2 in the I formation. Waller under center. He's going to roll out looking to throw. The signal is complete. The 2-point try is successful, and all of a sudden we have ourselves an 8-point ball game with 2:36 left in the 4th quarter.
So it's a 1 possession. My guess is it's going to be an onside kick. But
I think you have to. I think with 2 timeouts and the way that the Sailors have just controlled the ball, if you elect to kick it deep and the Sailors get 1 first down, the ball game's over.
Yep.
So I think you have to onside kick here. And boy, what a game here. What a close game. Sailors, I'm assuming, will send out what we call the hands team on the kickoff return, where you get a few more of your skill players out there with, what you would assume is maybe some of your better ball handling skills. Not always the case, but.
And you can tell by the size of that front line now that is, you've got actually the starting quarterback out there, starting receiver.
Yep.
Looks like just one lineman out there. Looks like Augie Trinan, if I'm seeing that number right, and I think he's got pretty good hands.
See Sard out there and Noland out there. One man deep smartly for the Sailors. Monahan back as the sole deep back. So AP will come out and try to onside from the 40-yard line. Hands team out there. They have 10 man up and one deep for the Sailors. Really the ball game here, as Wayne is going to attempt the onside. Kick is away, bouncing directly to the Sailors there on the front line. I couldn't see, but very securely handles the ball, goes straight to the ground, and a great job. I believe that's Mason Smith, the freshman, does a great job securing that football and holding on to possession for the Sailors.
Yeah, that had a hair on it. That was hit pretty hard, so that was a good catch, and just cradled to his belly and went down, and real good play.
A very well executed onside kick by the Falcons. That's what you want, is that end over end, the ball hopping everywhere off the turf, especially it's been wet field all night, but the Sailors securely handle it. First down, we're likely about a first down away. The AP can stop the clock twice with 2 timeouts. Run to Schultz, no surprise. Fighting for yards. Gets about a yard. Clock still ticking. I'm gonna guess they'll wait until third down to use their timeout. Probably smart. It's really kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of another.
If you do it right away. So as soon as you let 5 or 10 seconds go by, then you better save it for the next down.
You can't stop it 3 times, so it really doesn't matter if you call it after first and second down or if you call it after second and third down. So 2nd and 9, minute 56 in the ball game. Sailors up 28-20, ball at midfield. Trying to put this one away. Robinson under center, I formation. Hand off to Schultz, off tackle, nice little crease there, and he does a great job fighting his way forward for a 7-yard gain. He'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Big run by the Sailors there.
I think AP did call that timeout.
Timeout on the ball game.
And then it boils down to right now, well, they're going to run the ball here. If they get a first down, the game's over. And then I think unless they fumble or lose yardage, they're going to run it again.
So 3rd and 1, getting word on the scoreboard watch for the District 4 that Hudson has defeated Jessup. So unfortunately for the Sailors, the best they can do is 2nd place, which is still a great season in a tough district. And that will secure a home game next week. I believe that the playoff matchings are announced tomorrow morning, sometime around 10 or 11 a.m., maybe 10:30 a.m. So watch the Iowa High School football websites and all the social media accounts for the first-round playoffs. The way they work in 1A, Jeff, as you know, but the viewers at home might not, is that there's 32 teams in 1A that make the playoffs. They'll play a one-round matchup, so there'll be 16 games. And then once you get down to that final 16, they'll put you in pods of 4 pods of 4.
Yeah.
So we won't quite know the entire playoff map until after the first round if the Sailors are able to fight for a win. Trying to put this one away. Robinson under center. Looking to quarterback sneak. Fights his way forward. That's a Sailor first down. That's going to be your ball game. And it's our favorite call of the year, victory formation, to wrap this one up for the Sailors.
It's like the Columbus version of the tush push there.
Big, strong Amani Robinson hesitates, finds the seam behind the left guard there. I believe he followed Kamante Humphrey forward. And AP is going to burn their last time out. There's a minute 26 left in the ball game. And like I said, folks, stick around. Coach Brad Schmidt, after the post game, is going to join us up here in the booth. We'll try to keep you entertained for a few minutes after the final whistle until Coach Schmidt's able to make his way up here. And we'll talk playoffs. We'll talk AP, the AP win, and we'll talk playoffs.
Yeah. Absolutely will. We'll talk about whatever Brad wants to talk about.
There you go.
You know, his wife just ran the Chicago Marathon last week, so maybe he wants to talk about that a little bit.
Amazing.
Awful proud of her. So
I do imagine that when Coach Schmidt's out in public and stuff, probably doesn't get a chance to talk too much about anything but football. Definitely a big person in the community around here in Waterloo. Robinson takes the knee. Clock a little.
you're gonna have to do it a couple more times.
A little slow to start there, but 2nd and 10. Student section getting into the I believe that we have won chant. Great hometown support. The student section in the blackout, all dressed in black head to toe. Great turnout in the home stands. Beautiful turnout from AP visitors. And that actually is a false start. Mason Smith was not set and got down set late, and the referee correctly calls a false start, which inadvertently stops the clock. Only 2nd down, and it'll remain 2nd down on the penalty, so I don't think that's going to have any bearing except extending this a few seconds.
It's going to be 2 knees, and it's going to be over. But, yeah, finish the right way here, guys.
So after a little bit of rain today, it turned out to be a beautiful night for football. A little sloppy on the field, the grass a little wet. We saw some fumbled punts. We saw a blocked punt. We saw some snaps over the head. But generally, the Sailors execute well on their side and look to take this victory and put it in the bag.
Yeah, entertaining football game. Both those teams played their hearts out. Of course, somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. AP will also be in the playoffs next week. Congratulations to the players and the coaches from Aplington-Parkersburg.
So that'll do it for our ball game. The Sailors put this one away. A lot of fireworks tonight. Sailors are going to win 28-20.
Boom.
In a great, well-fought ball game. Like I said, we'll take a real quick break here, but stick around for postgame as we get Coach Brad Schmidt up in the booth for a postgame interview. We'll be right back, folks. So the student section, rightly so, celebrating the Week 8 win that puts the Sailors squarely alone in second place. And we are moments away from Coach Schmidt here joining us up in the sound booth. And let's get Jeff Bradley and Coach Schmidt up here on the post-game interview.
Headphones here. Here we go.
All right,
Ooh.
got Coach Brad Schmidt up here and little baby girl.
Little
She want to say hi?
Lenny, you want to talk into the mic? Say hi.
Say hi, Lenny.
Say hi.
I'm not so sure that she wants chicken nuggets. I know that from the OP.
Yeah, right.
Hey, first of all, congratulations. You know, took a little break from the playoffs, and we're back in.
Yeah, that was a little winded.
I know you're out of breath. I saw you sprint up here, so I appreciate
Fat and
that.
out of shape, but hey, that was crazy. I mean, you know, you go down or you score first, they answer, they get up.
Yep.
You know, kind of a barrage before half. That's why you got to stay the course, and you just got to continue to fight. You know, special teams have been an Achilles heel for us this year, and you know, I think that's pretty great that you know, we really dominated. We won the game because of special teams.
Yeah, made a
tonight.
couple phenomenal plays. Speaking of which, let's talk about that block punt by Humphrey.
Yep.
And not only blocks it,
House.
pops right back in his house.
Call.
Come on, man.
Hey, Key, man, he you know,
That's
those
Channel
linemen-
7 play of the week,
That's
isn't
Channel
it?
7 play of the week. You know, these linemen, they don't get a whole lot of the glory. You know, you kind of sign up for that when you're playing offensive line. But man, Key, he got in there. It takes a tough guy to block a punt, you know, because you got to keep your eyes open and you got to see it. And he took it right off his foot. And then, you know, we don't want to just block it, right? He's probably never scored a touchdown in his life. And, you know, what a time to get that first one and really set the tone for the game moving forward.
So then offensively, that's what I saw tonight. And I don't want to say a vast improvement, but definitely an improvement. Quarterback sharper, passes sharper, put some air under some, rifled some because he's got a great arm.
Yep.
But then those receivers caught about everything.
Yeah, man. You know, it was across the board. I mean, you know, Bryce Nolan made some key plays when we needed them. You know, Amani put the ball where he needed to when we needed him. You know, outside of the botch snap in the first half, you know, we played a pretty good, pretty clean game. You know, we said prior to the contest, you know, we had to tackle well and we had to take care of the football. And, you know, a lot of guys stepped up. A lot of guys made solid, you know, great plays. I mean, obviously, there at the end that you know gets a little nip and tuck. You know, convert on a double pass on the third and 28, and then you know they made a play there on fourth down, which you know you can't give those plays up. But you know, luckily for us, we had built enough of a cushion. You know, to get the job done. And then, you know, I mean, obviously hands team. I mean, you practice all that stuff on Thursday, and that's why, because, you know, you got to execute in the most critical moments. And, you know, Mason Smith fielded that onside kick, and, hey, that's ball game.
Yeah.
To the first down, too. You know, I mean, we had to get a first down, too,
Right.
and that was big as well. Quarterback sneak.
So I want to talk about Drew Schultz a little bit.
Yeah,
Boy, he
sure.
hard runner.
Yep.
You know, if he doesn't slip a couple times, he's got another 20, 30 yards on his talent.
Yeah.
And defensively made some
Yep.
big plays.
Yeah, no, Drew's he's a warrior. You know, cramping up a little bit too. I think he's getting his conditioning back. You know, and a lot of these kids, they don't leave the field. You know, and yeah, Drew was a bell cow for us tonight. Made some good plays on defense, and yeah, he's a tough kid. I'm glad we got him dotted there in the backfield because you know he really, you know, and I don't think he didn't score a touchdown, but man, you know, the amount of first downs, the amount of tough runs he had, he didn't lose any. You know, that's a key. That's a huge stat. I'd like to know how many runs he had, you know, where there wasn't anything and he still got 2. You know, to give you a 2nd and 8 as opposed to a 2nd and 11. So
That's huge. That's huge numbers.
Yep.
Not to be the bearer of bad news, Hudson did beat Jessup,
Okay.
number 2 seed. Going into, obviously going to have a little fun tonight, relax, kick back,
yeah.
maybe watch a little football on Sunday. But it's back to work, man.
back
for
to
the
work.
playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. You know, you find out who you play tomorrow. You know, God bless us with some beautiful weather tonight. I'm sweating, man. It's 70 degrees here, October 17th, which is crazy. But yeah, you know, you want to be playing your best ball. late October, and that's what we're doing right now. So we'll definitely enjoy this one tonight. Kids will enjoy this one tonight. We'll find out who we play tomorrow. I think 10 a.m. is when the pairings come out. We'll be back here next week. So that's what we set out to do, and credit to the kids for going out and doing it.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about before we let you go and get back with the team? Anybody want to recognize or shout out tonight?
I want to thank you guys for doing this. I mean, honestly, you both had your two boys, two of my favorite kids, great kids in Jake and Parker. Wish we had them out on the field, but the fact that same with Brandon. Brandon doesn't have any attachments here anymore, and you guys come out and you do this. So my brother in Des Moines, my brother in Indianapolis, my brother Jay back in Cedar Falls, watching his kids. My mom in Spain is probably watching this. She's at a wedding. So, I really want to thank you guys for doing this because, man, it takes a village. And I appreciate the heck out of, all the support that we have. And, you guys are a stakeholder in this as well. Yep. So.
All right. So we will talk before next week's game and hopefully again after. And thank you, Brad. Thank you, Lennon.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right, that's going to be a wrap for tonight. Sailors win into the playoffs. See everybody next Friday night.